Hi, I'm Pandora's Books, and today I'm going to be reading the first book of 2025. I'm going to be showing you the books that I got over Christmas, and I'm also going to be starting my own reading journal this year for the first time, so I'll be filling that in with my first entry of the year, which will be Small Pleasures by Claire Chambers. This will be the first book I've read by her, and it was very popular, I think, last year or the year before, and I'm excited to have this as my first read of 2025. So let's just get straight into it. I'm now roughly a third of the way through the book. I'm on page 121, and I'm enjoying the book. It's very different from other books that I've read before. It's clearly literary fiction. I knew that when I was going into it. It's just, from the way that I would describe it, is that there's enough plot to keep it going, but also at the same time it feels very slice of life. Like there's not too much going on. Like in 100 pages, I can probably explain everything in just a few sentences. But at the same time, I'm not finding it slow. I think if the investigation that happens in this book wasn't as interesting, then it would be a much slower book. But I am enjoying it. Because it's set in the 1950s, there's also a few phrases which I've picked up on that are really interesting. One of the sayings is "remember me to them," which is when someone who you haven't seen in a very long time comes up in conversation and you go, "Oh, remember me to them," as in a form of "send my regards, I haven't spoken to them in a few years, remember me to them," which I found like really sweet. Not that anyone would say that now. I think if you said that now it would be a bit confusing. But yeah, there's some sayings in here, and there's some like little quirks that I'm like, oh, that's a nice authentic piece of history, which I really enjoy. Basically, what's happened so far is Jean, this journalist at a newspaper, has gotten a letter from someone saying that she's had a virginal birth, and essentially Jean is now on this mission to prove her right or wrong. Either way, she's going through interviews, she's doing scientific like blood tests on this person, and it's just, you follow Jean as she does this, while also she seems to be making friends with this lady who says that she's had a virginal birth. And it is enjoyable, but I feel like the main focus more is Jean and her relationships rather than Jean finding out if this lady is lying or not. I've been really enjoying it so far, and hopefully I can finish this in the next couple days. I'm a lot further through the book now, like literally a lot further. I'm basically like half an hour away from finishing the book. I could wait to give my thoughts because like I'm not that far from the end of the book, but there's just so much going on, so many twists and turns that I just wasn't expecting from this book, and I just want to get my reaction before it all happens, because at the moment Jean is in this situation, a catch-22 situation, where she's debating if she should tell someone some important information or not, and if she doesn't tell them, then she's lying, and she's lying at her job, and if she does tell them, then like she's kind of turning their life upside down. It's a very complex situation, and I don't know what I'll do in her scenario, but I have honestly no idea where this is going to go, what's going to happen at the end of this. I have been listening to the audiobook majoritively today just because I was doing some DIY around the house. I was fixing up the silicone in the bathroom. Life as a homeowner is so exciting. Without me realizing it, I'm less than 30 pages away from the end. I suspect that I'll probably rate this really high. What this book is about is not really what it says on the blurb. Like, it says it's about this woman who thinks that she had a virginal birth, but really it's about the friendships and the relationships that she has with this family. Just wanted to give my 2 cents before I actually finish this book. Well, I have finished Small Pleasures. Didn't take me that long. and I should have expected it. There was a prologue at the beginning. It was like a extract from a newspaper article that essentially is the ending of the book, or hints to the ending of the book. Yeah, I don't know. Now I just feel so... Oh, it's a sad ending. It's a sad ending to the book. I wish that... I mean, it's one of those things, it's like, it's a good ending, but also I wish the characters got a happy ending. I wish, you know, things went their way. I liked this book. 4 stars. 4 stars. And it also means now I can put my first entry into my reading journal, which I got as a Christmas present from my boyfriend Toby. So I can now do that. So I've got a daily tracker of days that I've read. So I'm just filling in up until the 4th because that's the date today. The next thing is I have this progress tracker, but in the style of a shelf. I can add in my first book here now. I'll probably colour it in as well, but I just need to find where my colouring pencils are. For now, I'll just write in the name. There we go. It's nerve-wracking writing the first thing, because I'm like scared I'm gonna ruin it. But once I've done that, then it's fine. The next thing I have is a reading log and index, so I can just write in the title and author and then the rating that I gave it. So there we go, I've added it in. 4 stars. And then finally, the last thing to do is to write my review. And we've got this whole page here where you can put the title, the genre, the rating, start date, notes. I'm debating on whether I just draw the cover or if I like print it off. I might just leave it blank for now and then like I'll fill it in later. It's also got this here at the bottom for memorable quotes. I don't normally take note of quotes in books that I enjoy, so I'll most likely leave this blank, but maybe in the future I'll be writing some quotes in here. Welcome to the final part of this video where I go through all the books that I've gotten from just generally December plus Boxing Day sales, January sales. So I think these books I've all gotten from early December all the way to January to now. So I'll just go through all of them. This isn't in the order that I got them, just because I can't remember anymore. But I've got a decent pile. The first book I've got is Spells for Forgetting. The first book I've got is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. So this book is about Emery, and on the eve of her school graduation, the love of her life, August, gets accused of murdering her best friend, and so he flees the town. And then 14 years later, he comes back to sort out some loose ends, and essentially the whole town wants him gone, but she is trying to figure some stuff out, figure what really happened 14 years ago. Then I've got Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This I've been like eyeing up for a while, debating on if I start it or not, debating if I read Caraval, if I just read this series, but essentially I don't really know what this is about. I just know that loads of people love it. And I kind of want to keep it that way. I kind of want to keep it as a surprise for myself, so I'm not going to read the blurb, but you are welcome to search it up yourself. Next I got is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and this is essentially a retelling of the Queen of Hearts, but from her perspective before she became the infamous Queen of Hearts. Then from my boyfriend on Christmas, I've got The Great Gatsby, and it's just a really nice edition. I've been talking about wanting to read this, so he got me this lovely hardback version of the book. It's my first classic, I think. And then from my friend, she got me Outlander, which is a thick book because I had watched the first season of Outlander, so she saw this in a charity shop and decided to get it for me. It is very intimidating. It is, wow, over 800 pages, which is disgusting really. It is about this woman who goes to Scotland with her husband on a little holiday and ends up accidentally being transported into the past, into 1743. And she essentially just has to survive in the past, while her husband is still looking for her in the present day. The same friend also got me Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and this is my first Abby Jimenez book, so I'll probably do a video reading Abby Jimenez for the first time, and this was her big romance book in 2024. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. Again, I don't really want to go too much into it, but I've had a lot of good things about this book. A lot of people really like this book. My boyfriend also got me Bear Town by Fredrik Backman. This book is about this town based in Sweden. This town is basically all about this ice hockey team, but I think the book follows not really the ice hockey, but really the whole town and the community around this ice hockey. And I think it opens with a murder. Someone had been murdered on the hockey team. Let me double check, because it was on the first page. I've read it before. I read the first page in like bookstores, debating whether I pick it up or not. I don't know if it's a murder, but a teenager picks up a double-barreled shotgun, walks into the forest. I'll put the gun to someone else's forehead and pulled the trigger. So yeah, that's how the book starts. Very intriguing. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this as well. My friend also got me Daisy Jones and the Six, which I have read before, but I read it on Kindle, and I kind of just really wanted the physical copy, and she had a spare, so she lended me her spare. Also for Christmas, my boyfriend got me The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Again, I've already read it on Kindle, but I just wanted a physical copy. And he also got me this really nice special edition one, and I love the cover. It also has this on the front. I love both these books by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm sure you've heard about them a bajillion times by now, but if you haven't, I highly recommend. Daisy Jones and the Six I prefer, but I do really like Seven Husbands as well. Shy Creatures by Claire Chambers. I got this because I've just finished Small Pleasures by her, and I really liked her prose and how she wrote, so I decided to pick up her newest book. It was half price for a hardback, so I might as well have picked it up. And this book is about an art therapist in a psychiatric hospital in the 1960s who discovers a talent in this, I think deaf or mute. I think it's a mute patient who's extremely talented, and she just starts building a relationship with him and trying to learn about him through art therapy. Another book I got for myself was Mercury Pictures Presents by Anthony Mara. I don't really remember where I first found this book. I feel like it might have been Book of the Month or some YouTube video, but it was like a while ago, and I've had it in the back of my mind for a long time. I had credits at Waterstones, and I just thought I'll go ahead and get this. It is basically about Hollywood, I'm pretty sure, and just the movie industry in the golden era, which, if you can't tell already, I just love that setting. And yeah, again, it's another one that I don't really want to know too much before I get into. It's just the vibe that I'm getting from the book that really intrigued me, so I picked this one up. And then recently Toby got me The Handmaid's Tale, which I don't know why, but I felt like reading it. It's been in the back of my mind. I'm tempted by the TV series, so I thought I might try the book. If I like that, then I'll try the series. And if you don't know what The Handmaid's Tale is, it's a dystopian novel about this world where a certain group of women can still conceive, and essentially people use them like cattle, like just vessels to have babies. It's very gruesome, very dark, dystopian, so definitely look at trigger warnings before you read this. And then the last book I got was The Queen's Gambit. I got this during January sales at Waterstone. And again, I don't know why I had this stuck in my head. It just randomly popped in. I've watched the TV series of this 3 times. It's an amazing show. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend. It's on Netflix. It just hit me one day that maybe I should start the book. Maybe I should try it out. I'd assumed that it was a short book because it said only 256 pages on the website, I think. And then I got it today. The text is tiny and the margins are really small. So I feel like I was tricked a little bit there, but I'm sure I'll still really enjoy this book. It's highly rated on Goodreads. And essentially it's about this girl, this orphan, who learns how to play chess, and she rises up the ranks very quickly. And so yeah, I'm really excited to start this one as well. And those are all the books that I got in the last month. I don't know how it happened, how I got so many books with a mixture of just Christmas presents and Boxing Day sales, and I got gift cards and vouchers for Christmas. So a lot suddenly piled up. I've got, let's see if I can get them all. Oh, I'm holding it the wrong way.
You can do it, you can do it.
I can do it. Ah, I've got 13 books here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yes.
I suddenly managed to get 13 books somehow. Not that I'm complaining, but I'm running out of space, so maybe I will start complaining. Maybe I should invest in a Kindle, is what I'm getting at here. These are all the books I got. Thank you. Oh my god, my arms. Ah. Ah. thank you for watching. Thank you for watching as I read Small Pleasures, my first book of the year, and my reading journal. I've already started my second book of the year. Just as I finished Small Pleasures, my loan at the library for A Study in Drowning, the audiobook, came in. It was perfect timing, really. Thank you for watching me if you did in 2024, and hopefully I can create more content that you enjoy to watch in 2025. Bye.